Like a shadow in the night, I move stealthily through the drifting snows, weaving, bobbing, blending into my surroundings seamlessly like a... Oh, come on, man! Na, 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 na. Hey guys, welcome to a new episode of Thrift Store Hero. I am so excited for this one, guys. Okay, I'm going to be completely transparent with you. I have been working on this one for 4 days. So at the time of recording this introduction, I just finished this morning. So it was a huge success. It's a huge success in my mind, but art is all in the eye of the beholder. This one did turn out very busy. So I am really curious to see what your reaction is to this guy in the comments. Just a quick dive in, let me tell you a little bit about what we did. So I started off by gessoing just a little bit. So this guy looked a little rough when I got him. It looked like he was painted at one point, maybe painted at a second point. There seemed to be brown, purple, and pink all mixed up underneath a really badly put on coat of primer. He needed some help, but what I loved about him was, like those really cool 1970s ceramic trees where you can put the little lights in, these little lights, he has holes all around a wreath that was going around his neck. So what's really cool is when you put a light on the inside, he lights up. All of those little bulbs, kind of like a light bright, light up, and I absolutely loved him. So we did a coat, we did a second and third coat of primer to get rid of what was left over of that terrible original paint job. So my idea for him was to not paint him because I can't paint. I suck so hard at painting. So my idea for him was decoupage. Now I haven't decoupaged since I was a kid, so I was really nervous about this one, but I'm really proud of the way he came out. I used a package of 20 napkins that I bought at my local Tuesday morning. You can go anywhere. You can go to party stores, you could go to grocery stores, you could go to dollar stores. Just find a pattern that you really, really love and that speaks to you. I didn't want to pull too far away from the Christmas theme because he is at his core a Christmas reindeer. What I did want to do was maybe make him okay to leave out during the year, but also okay to have up at Christmas. You can do whatever you kind of want to do.
What's this? What's this? There's carpet everywhere.
For me, he has a kind of a Mexican terracotta vibe, which I am totally into. The napkins that I was using were 3-ply, which means they come apart in 3 layers. You've got the top layer that has the printing on it, and then to make sure that when you're dabbing your mouth at your tea party, the other layers kind of help to absorb some of whatever you're dabbing. So essentially, I took apart the other 2 layers and we just had a very, very thin, very see-through top layer. That had pros and cons while I was doing this. So pro, it is absolutely beautiful in a single layer. Con, in some areas where I had to layer the napkins, the layers showed through each other. So I'm still debating on if I want to go back and fix that or not. I wanted to use different patterns for different areas. Sure, you can just decoupage the entire thing with one pattern, but I really wanted him to still keep some of his character design. I didn't want the wreath to disappear into the pattern. I didn't want his antlers or his cute little tail to disappear into the pattern. So I decided to cut out parts of the napkin pattern and make his tail blue and the wreath blue, and really the effect kind of looks like feathers, which I kind of love. It kind of looks like he's got blue, like mini peacock feathers all over him. I absolutely love it. And then I used the yellow pattern that was identical to the blue pattern, only yellow. I used that for his antlers and his hooves. I used part of the border on the napkin for kind of some little, I won't call them feet warmers. He's rocking some feet warmers. After all of that was done, and that took up the bulk of the time, guys. This project took 3 days to do, and I'm talking, I woke up at 8 in the morning and I stopped roughly about 8 at night. It's funny because in this video, you're going to see me bounce around from the antlers to the wreath, to the back, to the hooves. And the reason I did that was because decoupaging is fun, but it's kind of boring. So I got bored doing the same areas for a really lengthy amount of time. And really what took up the majority of the time, and one thing that I would do different, is cutting out the pieces. So all of the antlers and the wreath were very tiny pieces of the napkin. What I ended up doing for the first day was cutting it out, pasting, cutting it out, pasting. And what I ended up doing for the second and third day was kind of streamlining the whole process, and I would go and watch a TV show with my husband and just sit there and cut out these pieces for like 3 hours at a time. And I would end up with a whole bowl of pieces. That way when I recorded the next day when I got up, I had a whole bowl already cut out and I didn't have to sit there and cut things out. I think I have carpal tunnel after day 3. You do things for the vintage. all napkined. We had to paint on his eyeballs, paint on his nose, and then I needed to do some touch-up on the leg warmers where you could see the layers coming through that white like we talked about earlier. So one of the things that I did on day one was make sure that I had the little pins ordered. You can get those on Amazon. I'll provide you with a link below. But I did want to mention that they come in different sizes. The holes in his wreath were incredibly tiny. So I wanted to make sure that I got the right size pins for those. The last step in all of this was to get the guy all plugged in. So this guy is for sure a lamp, but with that being said, he doesn't really light anything up. The only thing that really lights up is the little bitty beads. So don't think that this is going to light up a room or, you know, put off a whole lot of ambiance. He's just really cool at night to see glowing in a corner. I actually think a light bright might put off way more light than this guy does. But with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at the final result. love him so much. Okay, yes. So he's a busy boy. He is a busy boy. He has a lot happening, but I think that is just charming, and I love the lights and I love the colors that I ended up with. Now, I didn't choose these. These were the size that were available on Amazon, but they do remind me of a vintage light bright, which I just think is so much fun. They remind me of the light brights that I had when I was a kid, not the crap ones that they have now. Sorry if you're a kid and you're watching this, but your light brights are crap. So I know what counts as what I think, and what I think is this guy is absolutely amazing, but I do want to hear what you think. Let me know if you think this was a successful makeover, if he's a little too much for your living room, or if this is something that you would pick up in a heartbeat. I'm curious. For some reason, this aesthetic called to me, and I fully plan on putting him up in the shop, but I also fully plan on having him keep me company in the office for a little while until he finds his new home. So I'm in love with him. I think he's great. I think this guy looks so much better than the gessoed mess he came in as. So if you think so too, or even if you don't, let me know in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you're hitting that subscribe button, and I will see you guys next Friday. Bye.